Good evening and welcome to Nate on Drums. I'm your host, Nate, and we got a great show for you this evening. That's right, we're featuring a lot of local talent. We've been doing this show for a while out at the LMCC in the Lake Minnetonka area, and that's good, yeah, that's good. But now we'd like to say a big hello and a warm welcome to our whole Minnesota statewide audience. That's right. A little bit of a brief history on the show. We've been doing it for a couple years now, and we actually put something together to give you a better idea of who we are and how we do this show. So let's check it out right now. Nate on Drums started a few years ago as a public access show. We tape at a small television studio in Spring Park, which is okay, except that the building was once a whorehouse. That's really the truth. And there's an amazingly creepy bathroom in the attic. We can't afford a crew, so we kind of have to do everything ourselves. I'm the host because apparently I look funny when I smile, but I'm also the producer. I spend a lot of time on the phone trying to explain to potential sponsors what station we're on. My true passion, however, is the drums. I've always felt that loud, repetitive noises have something to say about our society. I don't know what they're saying exactly, but I attribute that to my lack of intelligence. David Harris is our segment producer and one of the most talented character actors I've ever met. He tends to keep his emotions close to the surface. Actually, he only has one emotion, and that's yelling. He has a lot of on-camera experience, though, so we try to write out the tough parts. Harris began as a field reporter for the LMCC News in Minnetonka, but he was dismissed from that job after he dumped an audience track over his satellite feed.
Just this morning, Nancy Hagen reported this car stolen. But you can imagine her surprise when she found out her husband had taken it. That's right, laugh for it.
Linnea is our head writer, but the only time I've ever seen her write is when she takes out that big diary she calls her repository of souls. I know I've got to be in that book like 50 times, because check this out. That just sucks. I would never look at a person like that, especially when I'm writing in a big book that smells like old newspapers. I try to ignore that though, because Linnea does come up with some amazing ideas. My favorite segment was about this office worker who reaches out and grabs her coworkers like a spider. I didn't really understand it, but it actually started a fight between Linnea and Harris, which was hilarious. Motion Price is the show's creative director. He handles all the art stuff, including the cartoon sequences. Motion looks normal, but he's probably the most messed up member of our team. First of all, Motion isn't his real name. When we started making television together, he insisted on using a pseudonym, and he told me that if I ever said his real name on the air, he would quit and take the logo with him. But the weirdest thing is that even though he makes $50,000 a year designing coloring books for Walmart, he still lives with his parents. He also owns 2 horses that he never rides, and he's never named. During his free time, Motion likes to make phallic chainsaw sculptures and camp in his yard. There are other people too, like Joe. He's the only person who will eat stuff out of the studio's refrigerator. John Peterson is our militant sound guy who laughs like a jackass whenever my monitor kicks out feedback. Caroline keeps our computers running, mostly by checking her Hotmail account, and Lee's the show's financial person. She can sit like that for 3 hours straight. Mel, who's married to Joe, checks our spelling and then pretty much sleeps in the lobby. And all those other people that say they do stuff, well, they're pretty much hangers-on. All of us together try to make a quality show, but we usually just end up arguing about the minor details. That's me feeling a bit overwhelmed. I apologize to everyone later. We know television is a tough medium. We're never more than 2 Nielsen points from oblivion. But we're going to continue to do our best as long as we can. And in all honesty, I have nothing to fall back on. Anyway, enjoy the show. And tell your friends that there's an independent television program in Minnesota. It's called Nate on Drums. Well, that's probably a little more than you need to know about us, but that's all right. Hey, if you stick around and stay watching this show, if you're doing that, you're going to see a great band, you're going to see some great sketch comedy, and maybe some familiar faces and places. So stick around for more Nate on Drums.
And for all you outdoor enthusiasts, there's going to be a big cold front coming down from Canada that's going to bring a whole truckload of snow. So luckily, Minnesota is going to stay nice and white, just the way we like it. No.
Late afternoon to get to sleep till dawn.